Hello and welcome back to Blood for Flowers by M.C.McNeel. We're continuing on with Chapter 12. Again, Chapter 12, Blood for Flowers. So come with me now on a journey through time and space. So it came to pass, as Thera and King Biocles returned down the dark path through the forest, the scent of cypress and pine heavy in the warm night air. The king had been in a great haste as he escorted Thera from his palace, not bothering to put on a robe, merely going in the night with a long crimson fabric fashioned as a garment loosely tied about the waist of his naked body, going barefoot as she. Now the king admonished Thera for venturing out in the night, for this was wild woods, and there were wolves. Thera had no fear, thinking herself quite cunning and clever, whereas she had come merely to catch a glimpse of the king. But here, now, as she lived and breathed, it was the great king himself, walking along the path as he took her hand, leading her back the way she came. The two walked hand in hand in the dark, Artemis having long since set over the western horizon, leaving nothing but darkness there in the woods. Here a great many thoughts crossed Vi's mind as he stopped and looked at Thera, as he spoke, saying, "Thera, are you feeling any better now after the tea he gave you?" She thought for a moment, feeling her elation of mood and lack of any want or care. "I feel well enough for now." She smiled, a fiendish look of lustful desire crossing her face. But so dark was it there in the deep woods, the king could not see the full flush of passion in her eyes. But the king was not a stupid man, and so he took her hand in his. "My physician informs me he feels you are sick with love." I suffer from no sickness, none of the heart or the mind," she said softly with a sigh. "Is it true then, Thera, you hold within your I can't even say this. Is it true then, Thera, you hold within your mighty heart no love for me whatsoever?" A rush of sweet anticipation filled both man and woman as they stood there, face to face, eye to eye. He smelling of bay leaves, and she of the sweetest jasmine oil, as she moved her face ever closer to the king, their lips nearly touching, and she opened her mouth, her breath of mint and honey from the strong tea, and she whispered, "I can only answer your question by saying, I could live my life without you." Here the king's heart saddened before she lifted his heart and thoughts of mind when she added, "But I would give up everything I hold dear to be with you, if just for one night." Many thoughts raced through his mind as he stood there, as Vi released her hands, wrapping his strong arms around Thera, moving to kiss her passionately upon the mouth. Thera closed her eyes in the warm embrace of the king, and they kissed sweetly and deeply with mouths as wet as dew, hearts racing, bodies aching to join together as they pressed close to one another there in the night, never understanding the consequences and repercussions this moment would have on the rest of their lives. Like all great tragedies, the moment of no return was born with a spark in the deep of the dark of night, in secret, in silence. Yeah, this is not for children. Remember that. Remember that, okay? Continuing on. I might blush during this. This is continuing on. This is continuing on chapter 12. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's make sure I'm looking good here. Got too much blush on. All right. Okay. Viacles greatly enjoyed drinking nectar from her lips like sweet water from a fountain. Now, being he was a king, he would not let his passion surpass his reason, so he let loose of Thera, releasing her from his firm hold, and he spoke, saying, "If I take you in your bed tonight and bring myself to be bare upon you, promise me only one thing." Thera was confused but complied. "Whatever you wish, whatever it takes, I will make any promise to you which I give my word I shall not break." She so vowed to the king. "When tomorrow comes and Admiral Vasha comes to entreat you, promise me you will take him to your bed and establish him as your breeding partner for this season instead of me." He said the words bringing a vile taste to his own mouth, for he would much rather have Thera as his own forever, but at last that was never to be. "I will take an admiral in place of a king. He will serve me well to help forget about you. As for now, you yourself have made a bargain with me. Come, let us fill our end of the agreement." Here she kissed him, his beard tickling her face a little, as she laughed softly. Then she turned in a rush of anticipation as she raced along the path in the woods, the king chasing close behind. Then Viacles caught up to Thera, and he fell upon her in a soft patch of lavender and clover that grew thick like a carpet under the cypress trees. "I am in no need of a bed to take you," Viacles said, as he lay himself upon her, and Thera moved to tilt her head back as she rested up on her elbows. Feeling the great weight of the king's solid wall of muscles on top of her torso, her long, muscular legs open, wide, knees bent as the king of Sparta kissed her neck and her bare breasts. They spoke no words between them, as the time for talking was over, and in a kind gesture the king stood, untied the long cloth from his waist, laying the silken crimson fabric atop the soft grasses and flowers. Then he called for Thera's hand as she stood before him in the cool, dark shadows of the night, and she removed the long, white, thin garment from her body. Thera and Viacles stood pressing close to one another, wrapped in each other's arms, their naked, warm bodies coursing with a surge of energy, passion, and determination. Thera was overwhelmed with the rush of blood to her brain and body as she kissed a strong, brave king, and she felt herself blessed among all the women of the nation. Maybe tomorrow that damnation of her people might find her, but tonight nothing would keep her heart and mind from its due course. Okay, I need to drink water after that. I'm sorry, y'all. So it was the king of Sparta took hold of this strong, beautiful, fertile woman in the night, only the trees and owls and stars as their witness. The king felt the strength of her body pressing and moving underneath him, and there he found the deep warmth within her, and she took in great breaths, wrapping herself around him with such a pleasure deep inside her. Thera thought surely her heart would burst from such writhing desire, naked, wet, the warmth of heaven within. A dangerous desire was building in the great king's heart for this woman, and every moment longer he spent with her fed a jealous spirit within his heart. Thera knew nothing of this as they continued, like animals of the forest, in their lustful abandon, so sweetly aggressive that if anyone were to come upon them now, they could not be quite sure if they were making love or trying to kill one another. Okay, so that's chapter 12. Yeah, it is a breeding campaign, so like get a little, get busy. So anyway, okay. So I will come back again with chapter 13. Sorry for the confusion. The last one was 11, not 10. Even though I said it was 10, it was 11, but we cleared that up now. So, okay. Well, yeah, they're gonna get into a lot of trouble for what they did, you know, because they weren't supposed to do that. But we'll see what happens next time. Much love from Texas. Bye.